Hello everyone and welcome back to another theory video. In this video we're going to be talking about what would have happened if Ezekiel didn't lose the stick in episode 2 of World Tour. Well, because Ezekiel didn't lose the stick, that means episode 2 is a non-elimination. So we go to episode 3, and I think there's no reason for Alejandro not to do what happened in the canonical episode. So I think Harold's gone, because I don't think Ezekiel would help in the challenge. Episode 4, again, I don't think Ezekiel could do anything to change the outcome of the challenge. So I think Bridget still gets stuck to a pole and still gets voted out. Episode 5 is a non-elimination, and so is episode 6. So we go to episode 7, Slap Slap Revolution. Now, in this one, even though again Lashana blows the challenge for team victory, I think Ezekiel is still going to vote DJ, and I think Lashana will vote DJ, and so if Lindsay and DJ vote Lashana, that's 2-2, and in the tiebreaker, I think DJ would commit to leaving because of the animals, and he would get voted out. Episode 8 is a non-elimination round, so that gets us to episode 9 in Paris. Now, Lindsay was really clumsy in this episode, and I think since Ezekiel's here, that's going to make it even worse. But I think Lashana will be able to single-handedly help her team out here. So I think Team Amazon are going to get last place on this challenge. So I think it's going to either be Sierra or Cody. And because of what happens, I think it's going to be Sierra. Episode 10 is another non-elimination, so we can skip over that and get to episode 11. Now, in episode 11, Izzy still gets injured. That won't change. Now, in the tobogganing, I do think Team Victory will be the worst team. And I have a feeling that when they're doing the tobogganing, something terrible will happen and Lindsay will get injured. So I think she's going to get evacuated. And so we have 2 med evacuations in one episode. Episode 12 is another non-elimination round, so we can skip over that once again. But episode 13 is I See London. Now, I don't really know what would happen in this episode now that Ezekiel is still in the game, but I'm just going to say whoever gets Duncan wins, and because nothing would change, Team Amazon would still get Duncan and they would win. Now, I don't know how to decide who would come last, so I'm going to make a 2-team vote off. I'm going to put Lashana and Ezekiel to Team Chris, and they have to vote off one person collectively. And if this was the case, I think Ezekiel would go with Tyler, Alejandro, and Lashana against Noah and Owen. And sadly for Noah, I think he goes like he did in the canon episode right now. Episode 14 is a non-elimination round, so we go to episode 15. And I think there's nothing you can really do, so I think Tyler messes up again and Tyler goes home. In episode 16, I think Courtney's still trying to throw the challenge for Team Amazon, which I think she does successfully, trying to get Gwen voted out, but Heather flips on her and she gets voted out 3-1. Episodes 17 and 18 are both non-elimination rounds, so we go to episode 19, Niagara Brawls. So that's where the merge is. Now, I like this merge. Ezekiel, after not dropping the stick, makes it merge. Lashana makes merge. Gwen makes merge. Now, for the teams for the challenge, I think the teams would be Cody and Gwen, Heather and Ezekiel, Owen and Lashana, and Alejandro and Duncan. Now, going through the teams, I don't know who would win because Owen and Lashana, I feel like Owen would probably fall. Alejandro and Duncan, Alejandro still throws it like he does in canon. Heather and Ezekiel, I think Ezekiel would be secretly actually pretty good at the questions, so if they can get over the rope, I think they can win. Then Gwen and Cody, I don't think they have a chance, so I think Heather and Ezekiel win immunity. Now, for alliances, I think Alejandro goes with Owen, and he might be able to rope in Blaney. I think Duncan, Gwen, Lashana, and Cody versus Owen, Blaney, Alejandro, Ezekiel, and Heather's just in the middle of it all. I think because Cody, Gwen, Lashana, and Duncan don't know who Blaney is, they all vote for her, while Alejandro, Ezekiel, Blaney, and Owen all vote for Duncan. Then in a tiebreaker, I think Duncan wins and Blaney is eliminated. Episode 20, and I'm pretty easily going to say Owen wins the eating challenge, so he has immunity. And I think him, Ezekiel, and Alejandro all vote for Duncan. And I think Lashana, Cody, Gwen, and Duncan all vote for Heather. And I think Heather votes Duncan to try save herself. But it doesn't matter because it's a double elimination and they both go home. In episode 21, I think Alejandro wins immunity because he was good at it in canon and probably still would be. And I think Ezekiel, Alejandro, and Owen would all vote for Gwen, while Gwen, Cody, and Lashana all vote for Owen. But because of the numbers, it's another double elimination, so they both go home. Episode 22 is still a non-elimination. So we go to episode 23. Now, in the dinosaur building, I think Ezekiel or Alejandro probably wins, but I'm going to give it to Ezekiel. Now, because of that, I think Ezekiel finds the oil, and I think Ezekiel wins immunity. Now, it's Ezekiel and Alejandro versus Lashana and Cody. But I think they go for Cody just because Ezekiel doesn't really like him much. So it goes down to a tiebreaker between Alejandro and Cody, and Alejandro absolutely demolishes him and Cody goes home. In episode 24, it's a non-elimination round, so we go to episode 25, where I think Lashana and Ezekiel have a conversation about Alejandro, and Ezekiel finally realizes how big of a threat Alejandro is if he's in the final two. So him and Lashana decide to team up to try beat Alejandro, which they do in the boat race, where they're able to jump onto each other's boat and make it there before him, eliminating Alejandro in third place. In the final episode, I think Lashana gets the wheelbarrow, and I don't think Ezekiel gets anything. So when they're going up the hill, I think Lashana is in the lead the whole way, but sadly Ezekiel just cannot catch up and Lashana wins, and Ezekiel comes second. But this might change All Stars, because there's two new participants that could be in it now.